One interesting investment opportunity that I've found, and I usually focus on things that are luxury assets and cash flow for me, so this one fits the bill perfectly. This is yacht charters. Now, yacht charters are a unique way to make money because, first of all, you get to enjoy an amazing asset. I mean, who doesn't want to own a luxury yacht? Especially if you're buying one of the bigger yachts, there's just so many opportunities, even for like networking and business events, besides all the charter revenue that you're gonna be collecting. But however, I will say that you have to kind of be a little bit careful when you're going into this business because the demand is not exactly the same on every single yacht. So you have to think about, what are consumers going to want to rent out? If you're in Miami on vacation, or maybe LA, or maybe somewhere else where the yacht is stationed at, you're not gonna want to get a 200-foot yacht. Not everybody's gonna want to get a 200-foot yacht. Some people may, but that's a lot more expensive than something that's more of like a 70-foot or an 80-foot or 95-foot. Those are all great sizes when it comes to chartering a yacht. So many people will opt for an option like that because they can get access to a very similar experience and charter this yacht, and they're not gonna have to break the bank while doing so. Now, some of those larger yachts, 200, 300-foot yachts, those can get very expensive, and then you have like a huge crew requirement and usually minimum days and stuff like that. So it really becomes a whole different category. This is not what we're talking about here. Although there is a market for that, and it's a very big one. Stuff like that you see a lot in the south of France, Saint-Tropez, Monaco, that type of stuff. Now, if we're talking about just Miami, somebody wants to rent it out for 4 hours, you're gonna probably be talking about somewhere between a 70 and maybe a 100-foot yacht. These yachts are kind of at a unique price point because you could pick one up for not too much. 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, you could get your hands on one of these yachts. Now, if you do, you have to think about what possible rates you could be chartering it at. So the first element is all about pricing. So part one of all this is finding a yacht at the right price and one that has demand, because just because it's priced well doesn't mean it's going to be chartering out. So you could get an amazing deal and then get no business. And so that obviously defeats the purpose of the investment. But if you buy a yacht at the right price and there's a good amount of demand for it, you're going to be able to charter it out nicely and make some good money on it. So I would say it's definitely helpful to do a lot of research on the front end to find a yacht that's priced correctly. And then secondly, the second element of all of this is having a charter company that you know is reliable. So somebody that has an online presence, somebody that has a big marketing footprint, somebody that has a lot of business already and are not just starting out. Now, there's nothing wrong with people who are starting out, and you could definitely do extremely well with them. But if you're working with an established charter company and they're chartering your yacht, it's likely that they could probably get you a lot more business than somebody who's brand new and doesn't know very many people. Because as you grow in the charter business, you're gonna start doing business with other charter companies as well. For example, if somebody else is sold out and they have another customer, they're gonna send clients to you and vice versa. So that right there is a network that helps you in the end because you're able to take advantage of not only your own marketing footprint, but somebody else's as well. And so that helps everybody grow, obviously, in the business. But what I find is that the smaller charter companies, they tend to compete with each other aggressively instead of collaborating. So once you start getting to the higher levels and people are larger and more successful, they tend to collaborate a lot more and they help each other out instead of trying to compete with each other because it's already a competitive business. So the third element of all of this is pricing your yacht correctly. So a typical price for a yacht, let's say for 4 hours, you might spend $12,000 on it. Right? Depends on the size of the yacht, depends on the size of the crew, depends on if it includes food and beverage. All these different things start adding up. Then you have on the water activities. You might have a floaty, you might have jet skis, you might have all these different things that get added on, and that can bring the price up. If you're looking for something like that, I would definitely do market research, because if you're providing a better service than other people, then maybe you'd be able to charge a little bit more. But I would definitely base it on market pricing, or maybe even slightly below. So if I was running an analysis on this, I would take a look at the size of the yacht, right? What size yacht? What model is most popular? What model is the most reliable, right? Which one charters well? Number two, who's the charter company? How much business are they getting? Are they a very busy company? Is it likely that my yacht is going to get chartered a lot through them? And then thirdly, you have these price points. So as you're doing research, it may actually be helpful to just go and charter a yacht yourself. So if you want to do some research on how that process works, why don't you just go charter a yacht, maybe get some friends together, you can split the cost of the yacht, but do some market research so you can see end to end how that process looks like. What does the booking process look like? What can I improve in the booking process? What about food? What about the time on the yacht? What time of day do they usually have available? Because they have different slots available in the day. What if you could position it in such a way where you could actually fit in 2 charters in a day, which is totally doable, and many yachts do that. So you have to think about all these things ahead of time, and then of course your pricing can reflect that. So what kind of discount do they get if they get it for multiple days? Is there a discount? These are all pricing elements that may be seasonality effects, that may be demand effects, that may be location effects. How close am I to downtown? How close am I to the beach? How close am I to this city or that city? So these are all pricing elements that are very, very important. And then the fourth point of all this, and this is definitely something that I would research extensively before going into this business, is looking at maintenance costs. So there's so many things that can affect a yacht, and it can be very expensive to fix. So it's likely that you're going to be in salt water. If you're going to be in salt water tends to corrode things. And so if you're going to have a lot of corrosion on your yacht, you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself with maybe some sort of maintenance plan, or maybe like a maintenance package from a marine shop, or maybe you have warranty on it, or maybe you do a full inspection before buying the yacht to make sure that there's nothing that's about to break, because that could be an unexpected expense. You have to account for those expenses as well, because you want to buy something that's in good condition and that can be chartered out for a really, really long time before anything starts to come up. Now, of course, maintenance is always going to be a thing. There are always going to be things that you have to fix about these yachts, but for the most part, they tend to estimate that to be about 10% of the yacht's value. If you bought a yacht for $5 million, you can expect that $500,000 a year is just going to go on maintenance and upkeep of that yacht. And that's a very, very normal amount in this industry. So as long as you're calculating that into your possible projections or profits that you can make from chartering this yacht, you should be on the safe side, and you should be prepared for anything that can happen with that yacht, as well as having a trusted mechanic, of course, that you can trust to do these things and not tack on a bunch of extra stuff just to make extra money. So make sure you do your research. All these elements are very important to put this deal together. And then finally, one of the best parts about it is that you get to enjoy your yacht when it's not being chartered. So let's say you have a business mastermind or an event that you're hosting in a city, and your yacht is in that city. So you could actually take out some of your top clients or guests or speakers on your own yacht, which is just an amazing opportunity to network and to spend some time together and to enjoy the asset that you've purchased, not only for investment, but also for enjoyment. Alrighty guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. That's yacht investing for you, and I'll see you all on the next video.